Greg Everett with Catalyst Athletics here. I'm going to run you through my recommended warm-up for weightlifting. If you're cold, if you're stiff, if you're really sore, you can begin all this with about 2 to 5 minutes of monostructural work, whether that's hopping on a rower, exercise bike, or jogging, just something to get the temperature of the body up and just have some general movement. After that, what I like to do is a quick series of foam rolling, which you can see a video of right here. Finally, what I'm going to show you today is just a quick dynamic range of motion series. You're going to hit 10 to 15 reps of each of these drills and move continuously from start to finish to continue warming the body. After that, you're just going to move on to your specific barbell warm-up for whatever the first exercise is you're doing that day. With the wrist circles, keep your palms together and your forearms as close as possible to make sure you're getting the full range. Make sure you get your elbows fully extended in each circle, and also pronate and supinate your hands as you come around to make sure you get as much movement at the ulna and radius as possible. Keep your palms facing forward and your arms at about shoulder height. Protract your shoulder blades as you come across the front and retract as you come back. Keep your trunk locked in tight to make sure the movement's coming from the shoulders and not from hinging at the mid to lower back, and squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top and bottom of each swing. Again, keep your trunk locked in tight so the movement's coming from the shoulder girdle, but the purpose of the opposing swings is to help lock it in and prevent the movement coming from the spine. This one can also be done with more elbow bend and more of a focus on external and internal rotation. Use momentum to get the biggest range of motion possible on these circles, and also make sure the shoulder blades are moving up, forward, down, and back as you come around. Again, use momentum to carry you through the biggest range of motion possible, and be sure that you're rotating at the upper back, not just the lower back. These might be embarrassing, but they're less embarrassing than looking like the Tin Man when you're trying to squat. Keep your glutes tight and reach your hips forward as far as possible as you come around. Unlock your knees slightly as you come forward. Let your back round and hinge at the hip as well. As you come back, squeeze your glutes tight to make sure that you're actually stretching out the hip flexors and not just hyperextending the lower back. Lean a little bit onto the knees and help guide them in the circles with your hands. Use momentum to get the swing as high and as far back as you can. And also make sure you're keeping your abs tight to minimize pelvis movement, although there will still be some. Also make sure you're closing the knee as much as possible in that backswing to get the quad and the hip flexor together. Lean all your weight over the thigh and make sure you keep your foot flat to stretch the calves instead of the midfoot. If you can't hold this squat position, put your other leg behind you into a lunge. Almost nobody gets this one right. The idea is to spread the thighs where they attach to the hip, not at the knees. That being the case, you need to get your elbows as deep towards your groin as possible so that you can use them to push out to the sides. You will not be in a full depth squat, and your back should be about horizontal.